everyone, it's day 29 of the 31 Days of Tarot, and I just want to thank Ethany so much for hosting this once again with all these wonderful prompts. It's been really fun making these videos. Today's topic is, what are your beliefs around the mechanics of a reading? How do you think it works? Is it your subconscious, a higher self, spirit? What are my beliefs? I feel like I am of a split mindset when it comes to answering that question. What are the mechanics? How does it work? I feel like I have this logical self who, and I'm totally comfortable with it, like part of me truly honestly believes that shuffling the cards and drawing the cards and putting them out in certain positions is a totally random occurrence event, that there's no kind of magic or divine intervention. It's totally random cards put in random places assigned random meanings. And the reason that works is because human beings have this ability, and to their own detriment sometimes, but we have this great ability of finding patterns. And we're all a little bit self-centered, just a little bit, and we love talking about ourselves and we love hearing about ourselves. So we're gonna look for things in the cards that apply to our own life, even when they're completely random. And so I think that works, and that is a benefit, is because you're gonna look for a way to connect what's going on in your head or your life, and you're gonna say, well, how does that fit my life in that particular way? And so you're gonna struggle, well, maybe not struggle, but you're gonna come up with an answer. You're gonna come up with something. You're gonna make it fit, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And that exercise of doing that, I feel, gives you a new perspective. It makes you think a little bit differently than you would without some kind of external prompt, or it makes you look at your situation in a different light, in a different way, and it gives you new perspective on things. And so you can sit with that thought and say, is that good for me? Is this something that I should pursue, or is this an approach I should make, or whatever the card is trying to say. And you can be like, yeah, you know what? I think that helps me. Or you could be on the brink of making a decision. You've got choice A or choice B. So you ask the cards, which one is better for me? And if you get choice A is the better answer and you feel disappointed about that, then I feel like don't listen to the cards. You've got your answer. You are disappointed by the fact that the cards chose A, so you've got to choose B. And if the cards told you choice B was better and you're like, yes, that's what I was hoping for, then you can go forward with confidence and know that that was the right choice for you. So I feel like tarot, from a completely kind of atheist standpoint, still works. Now, having said that, and you will hear me, on my blog or on my social media, I will use the word spirit and higher good and things like that. And I am not faking it. I'm not trying to impress anyone. I do feel like that is an authentic part of me as well. That, I do kind of feel like there are certain things in your life, you could be beating down doors that just aren't opening for you. And I feel like that's, at some point you got to acknowledge to yourself that is a waste of your energy. And you got to look for doors that are open to you. And who's controlling the locks on those doors, or what's on the other side? Maybe it's a creator, maybe it's some kind of divine higher self, or I don't know, there's so many different ways you could call it. Or maybe it's nothing. Either way, it's a waste of energy. So go look for another door. And I think it's really important, there is this, you've got to let go of the life you had planned so that you can live the life you were meant to live. And that is a belief that I have. I also believe that mythology and a lot of spiritual lore, and the idea of a creator or gods, multiple gods, are projections of ourself. So I suppose in a way it is kind of like a higher self. I might call it deities or creator or highest good or divine intervention, but I think right when it comes down to it, I do honestly think that is all a projection of self, and I feel like call it what you want to give it more power, to give it more influence, but I feel like that's what it is. I feel like it's also really important to not confuse the message with the symbol. And so what I mean by that is when you start to take the symbols in, I don't know, tarot, in mythology, in scripture, as literal, you lose the message. You start to lose the message. So I think you have to look past the symbol to find the message, to go through the metaphor and figure out what that is. And I think tarot uses, I think most readers use that practice as well. It's like there's pictures with symbols, but you have to see through the symbols to pull out what the message is. And I feel like stories have the same purpose, that when you start taking the stories, whether it be Buddha or Jesus or freaking Wonder Woman, and you start to take that literally, you're losing the message that's in the story. That is the purpose of telling the story. And so tarot tells a story of you. And so I feel like there is sort of a spiritual side to me. It is a little deeper than just pulling random cards. But I feel like having both perspectives also makes me a better reader and makes me able to read for more people, because I'm totally comfortable, say with like atheists or skeptics who are like, I don't know if this works, and I can say they could be completely random, they're still gonna work, and here's why. But if I get someone who, is looking for that spiritual guidance, I can say, this is in your highest good. It's you're being directed in this direction as opposed to this one. The direction you're heading in is not working for you, or you're repeating past mistakes, or you've been down that corridor before and the doors weren't open to you then. Maybe they're going to open for you now. Let's see what your story has to say. Let's see what's happening. And I can work with people who are looking for a more spiritual experience, and I can work with people who are skeptics or who are more, I don't know, they have that more atheist practical approach to them. And I kind of like it. I kind of like walking both paths, I suppose. I feel like I'm not being inauthentic. I feel like I can see both perspectives. So in a way, I almost don't care how tarot works. It doesn't really matter why it works. I just know that it works if you're open to it. I feel like not everybody is, and that's okay. It's not for everyone. I feel like you should give it a shot. You should be open-minded. But it's not the only way. There are other ways to approach life, and you can be perfectly happy, live a happy life those ways as well. But I do feel like those who are seeking something, just either they need that external prompt, that other perspective, that thing that makes them think differently than they would think by themselves. Tarot might be a really good option for you. And those who are seeking some spiritual guidance tool, tarot is probably a really good option as well. So I kind of feel pulled in both directions, and I'm totally comfortable with either way. Either there is, a higher good, divine guidance. What works for some people isn't going to work for everyone. Everyone has their own path. And if you can find the right path, you're going to live this whole and healthy, happy life. And if you keep going down other people's paths or trying to open doors that aren't available to you, you're just going to keep feeling the struggle and the disappointment, and other areas of your life are going to suffer because of it. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling here. That sort of summarizes my thoughts on tarot and how it works. I I hope that makes sense. I'm going to sign off here. If you have any questions, agree, disagree, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 30. And until then, keep sparkling and stay shiny. Ciao for now.